Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube. Welcome to episode 7 of the Nerd Word, where it's not Norman Reedus,
it's Nerd!
Today, I am your not host, Edward St. Alban V.
I'm your not host, Antonio.
What?
I'm changing it every episode.
Sure. Great.
I'm another not host, John.
The Slut.
The Slut.
And I'm also the not host, Brennan
the Falcon.
And today, earlier, before we started the recording, John made a reference to Dark Lightning, and he said it was awesome, but I don't know what Dark Lightning is. So John, would you please explain your science corner of the night?
Should we start off?
I will explain the entire story.
Okay.
Of Dark
What is
Lightning.
Dark Lightning? Go.
Okay, so I like to fancy myself an amateur writer.
Okay.
And back over
He
this...
fancies himself a lot.
I fancy myself a lot. I don't usually do that in public, though. People throw garbage at me.
Do you blame them?
No, I don't. And was it last summer?
Yeah.
I think it was last summer.
Yeah,
or the summer
because we had
before
the car
that.
rides going to work talking about it.
And I was brainstorming with Tony, or Antonio, this episode.
My name is Fernando.
And I was like, I really want to start this story with this like angry storm. Because what I was doing was writing this story and making it all like post-apocalyptic, but put like magic and stuff in there, but I'll make it all scientifically accurate.
Cool.
So I'm like, I want there to be this really cool like storm that's like terrifying, and these people they have to run from. And so I was like, what about Dark Lightning? That sounds epic.
I probably laughed.
It does sound epic.
Because I didn't at the time. I didn't think it was epic because he was just like, "I got this, Dark Lightning."
And he just started laughing at me, and he's like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
And like a racist superhero name.
Yeah.
Black Lightning.
Black Lightning.
We have established that Black Lightning is black.
Is Black Lightning like the Flash? Just
No.
black?
No. Think Static X during racial times where they were more blatant about it.
Okay.
No, Black Lightning basically has Static X's power. He can manipulate electricity. And he was a superhero who develops these electrical powers. And they basically said, he has lightning powers. Black Lightning. Perfect. And so that'd be like calling Superman, White Thunder Cunt. I mean, do you have to hit the nail right on the head?
Apparently we've established this Superman has
And now we've already
official
gone through
name
Brennan's comic book character corner of the night. We're going through these quick.
We'll circle back to it.
Yeah.
it's a circle. So we went through this whole big going back and forth, and we ended up like choosing another name, which we made up. And so fast forward about 6 weeks, and we're in the break room at the zoo waiting for work to start. And I was just like, I was on the Google homepage because why not? And I was like, I need something to Google. And he's like, Google Dark Lightning. And I was like, fine.
Did you just make fun of them for saying it when it was your word?
No,
quote unquote?
that's what he was making fun of me.
Oh, okay.
That's
so
how
that was how he actually
said it. That's how he said it.
I thought you were making fun of him for suggesting.
No. No. Like, and he was like, because he would make fun of me and just be like, what? And he would make fun of me because I'd be like, I'm trying to think of something. And he's like, make it better than Dark Lightning. And I'm like, God, stop. Give it up. So I Googled Dark Lightning. It's a thing.
Oh, fuck.
It's terrifying.
It's an actual thing.
So when you have a thunderstorm and a lightning bolt goes off, there is a chance that the exact
A 1 in
opposite-
10,000 chance. We're
an
talking
exact-
Minecraft here.
opposite direction, it unleashes a gamma ray burst.
Dark Lightning.
This is how Black Lightning was born.
That's called Dark Lightning. And it is at the height that if you were in a commercial jetliner, it can fire off below you and cook you.
Yeah.
The whole plane just dies.
What?
Dark Lightning.
Dark Lightning.
So it turns out that would have been a fucking awesome thing to name my storm.
Such a cool thing! I want to include that in all the things now. Lightning that's just gamma rays and
Fucks you from the low.
fucks you from below. That's like the catchphrase of Dark Lightning and like nice little ivy quote.
That's a box quote for Dark Lightning.
It fucks you from below. Dark Lightning.
Dark lightning.
Now $7.99.
That's pretty cheap.
Dark
Fragrance.
lightning. Fucking
Pretty
you
cheap
from
for
below.
cooking, for being fucked from below. $7.99 is pretty cheap.
That is, that's coming with
Prostitution
diseases.
jokes.
Now people who would have paid more.
Good times, good times.
Well, okay, so that was Dark Lightning. The thing that fucks you from below. Moving on to John's Fat Kid Powers.
Okay, it's just a story I briefly want to tell. I was
What?
at work the other day, and they threw a pizza party for us. So we could...
Oh, I love pizza parties.
Yes!
And you left none for anyone else.
Well, there's
You
like
what?
16
You
pizzas.
spoiled it. We were getting there.
Spoilers.
No, so it came in the front of the building, and where the lunchroom is, you go in the front, you turn right, and the lunchroom's right there. And my lab is like 250 feet back through some hallways in the back of the building. The pizza walked in the building, and all of a sudden I went, the pizza's here. From 300 feet away, I smelled pizza.
I'd make fun of you for it, but I kind of... Not only am I capable of doing that, I'm capable of doing that and sensing when it's done. Not just cooking. I suddenly go, yes, the chicken is done. And I just go upstairs and I go and eat. And they're like, oh, hey, you knew dinner was ready? Okay, cool. Good timing. I'm like, no.
I have that, but in the form of
knows.
skinny kid powers, because when the ramen is done, my spidey sense goes off. I'm like, the ramen's done, and it's always perfect every time.
That's college kid powers.
That's
Yeah.
except they're not in college. Also, college
Yeah.
work. But we'll get there later.
Yeah.
Is it bad when you said that you had Fat Kid Powers as well? I wanted to be like, Fat Kid Powers activate in form of Tostino's Pizza! The Wonder Twins?
The Wonder Twins. Oh, come on. They're a part of the Super Friends? Okay, so they're these twins. And their origin story is that they were originally, their father was from another planet and they had the space monkey. They were capable,
a little bit.
So they were capable of shape-shifting. And the brother could only shape-shift into things that had to do with water. Not liquid state, but water in general. So he could be steam, or an
ice dragon.
Or a bottle.
or a cube of ice, or Wonder Woman's bathwater, those kind of things. And then the chick,
Wonder Woman's bathwater. I'd totally be Wonder Woman's
the chick
bathwater.
Yeah.
could shapeshift into any animal. So she was essentially Beast Boy in female form, but she needed her brother to activate her powers.
Okay.
And actually, Smallville did the Wonder Twins as well.
Really?
It was in, I believe, the 10th season.
I didn't see that.
Oh, okay,
Ninth
that
or
explains
10th.
it.
I have seasons 1, and then I skipped... Well, I watched them, but I don't own them. 2 and 3, and then I have all the rest up to 10.
I probably should borrow the last couple, but continue. But yeah, Wonder Twins.
Okay. Cool, now I know about the Wonder Twins. Okay, so college merp. That was my topic of the week, is college merp. Everyone is in college except for Edward.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I
Well-
don't really consider ACC a college.
That's how I felt when I went there. I'm like, I'm not really in college. I'm studying to prepare to go to college.
And right now I just really feel like I don't want to go to college. But at the same time, I'm trying to think ahead and be like, where am I going to be in May or March when those acceptance letters would get rolled around if I applied now? Or would I want to be in college by next year? In my attempts to not take a year off and just go forward and do something, have I taken a year off and do I need to go to college? And part of me is it's like considering, do I want to be there just because of the atmosphere of other people around me also want to be going somewhere? Maybe we don't know what, but we all want to keep moving forward rather than what I'm doing right now. And life is very static. And I just
I would suggest getting on Meetup. It's this online website page. You're able to go to a number of different organizations. Like there's meetup coffee spots, there's meetup hikers, there's meetup snowboarders, there's meetup gamers, there's all sorts of different communities. So that way you get that sense of community environment where you're seeing people and engaging on a social level outside of work or outside of your general social circle. Another thing I would say is don't be afraid to hold off on college. Because if I had gone into college immediately after high school, I would probably have 3 different addictions and we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I was in a bad spot when I left high school, and had I gone to a place that can nurture somebody into good habits, but also offers plenty of opportunities for bad habits, I would have done poorly. I'm not saying that you're in the same state as that, but it's not something that should be taken lightly, because it is a lot of money, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of commitment. So make sure that you are ready to go when you are ready to go. On the same note, don't wait too long.
Well, yeah, that's what everyone says. It's like don't feel like you need to do it right now, but also don't wait too long, otherwise your life is fucked.
Well,
and then like
the time frame more relies on you. Like, what are you doing with that time, and are you doing something that's helping you progress as an individual or a worker or whatever it might be to get to whatever your long-term goals are? As long as you're doing something that's healthy for you, that's, acceptable, that's within your goals, and, or even just, to relax and take time off before that. As long as it's not becoming to a point where it's like college is no longer in the picture, where it's like you've either gotten in too much debt outside of college or too many obligations. If it's something that, you end up in a career that you just work your way up the ladder, you don't necessarily have to go back to college.
Right. John, you have finished college.
I have.
Was
6 years
the 4 years worth it?
6, actually.
6 was the 6. That's a lot longer. I think 6 doesn't sound like much longer than 4, but but do you feel like it was worth the 6 years, or are you waiting for that? It was worth it to come still, or how has it been?
It's a weird time right now, just because the economy. Usually you come out of college and you're like, oh cool, I've got so many job opportunities, but from what I learned and the experiences, I think it was totally worth it. And college is another one of those things where it's not just like Brandon was saying, it's about your attitude towards it.
Right.
How successful you're going to be, not just how smart you are and how you put yourself towards your schoolwork and everything. But from my experiences, it was very much worth it. When I left, and I'm still getting over it, I want to go back.
Right.
Just because I miss learning and I miss the atmosphere, like you were saying.
Yeah. Because at the end of at graduation, I got to make a speech. I was chosen as the student speaker.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! And
You did.
I basically the
you're not.
We didn't graduate at the same time.
I know. That's why I was just like, I don't remember you giving a speech.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Anyways,
Moving past that
on
speed bump.
this very awesome speech, which I have been told was the best speech that had been given at Dakota's graduation in a very, very long time, that the underlying theme was, don't go to college just because everyone else is going to college, and don't go to college because it's the next thing to do. You need to be more aware of where you're going in life, because you need to have an ambition. You need to have a thing that you want to push towards, and then use college to do that, or use college to find that opportunity, and then, if necessary, drop out of college and then grab onto that. But as long as you have that, thing to grab onto, that's what college is supposed to be for, rather than just flying out of high school and just blah, 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 I don't know what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. But in my attempt, I said that, and I'm doing the exact opposite of what I said in front of 2,000 people. was that
So you're
Don't-
saying you want to go into politics?
ooh
So far, it's fitting. Okay, we're not going to talk about politics on this podcast yet. Oh
We might
God!
oh
dabble.
god. All I will say about politics is that I'm so fucking glad that the last election is just over because that means
For
less
now.
annoying YouTube ads.
Yeah.
YouTube. Oh, the amount of like how much this candidate loves the environment and how much physical mail they sent me. It was absurd.
Yes.
Daily. And because in my house there are Republicans, there are Independents, and there are Democrats. We get everyone. Every politician that's
Oh
running
dear
for
God, that's just all
everything.
the mail.
Mail, and then the canvassers who come up asking us
Oh,
for our
right.
votes, which sometimes are fun to break. I do that to the religious people who come to my doors too. I should stop. It's mean, and
Anyways,
I
no,
just
it's
get
not.
this sick pleasure when you watch their eye twitch to the point where you see that like parts of their brain have actually come unhinged and they don't understand
And they
how
die?
to understand
What?
reality.
This is getting
No,
this
they
is
don't.
getting dark lightning shit.
They don't
Like-
die. They just leave with a sense of their entire life has no purpose. And it's
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
So college.
So college merp. So that's
no,
why
yeah, that's
that
about
is that is
college.
why I
College.
said anyway. So that is why I said college merp because merp is the only way that I have physically in those few many words to say that I am a hypocrite. I said that I wasn't gonna take a year off and just go ahead and do something with my life and not go to college because it was the next thing to do. And now I'm wishing that I had done that.
If it helps, Edward, just your like summary of your speech made my graduation better because my graduation speech sucked.
What?
Even
was
if I
your
wanted to
graduation
fuck the
speech?
person
'Cause I-
at the
my
time,
sister,
it sucked.
I talked to my sisters afterwards, and my sisters were like, when we graduated, like the speech was A is for this, which has to do with high school, and B is for this, which has
When
to
did
do
your
with
sister
high school.
graduate?
2006,
From?
Dakota Ridge High School. Did you guys graduate in the same year?
Yeah, she was in the same class.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Nikki and Stacy Towner were my sisters.
I was really stoned and in
The names
choir
sound
stage.
really familiar.
Cause you've met Nikki.
I have met Nikki. Yes. Okay. Well, I'm just saying in the like my high school like escapades, the names sound very familiar.
I will pull up a picture of Stacy because I'm pretty sure you would have recognized Nikki. I'm pretty sure, but I'll pull up a picture of Stacy.
Let's do this when we're not recording because it makes awful radio.
Oh right,
Right, we're doing a thing.
Right. Oh fuck, we're recording.
Yeah,
You just blew
my
my mind now.
graduation was
Because I was like, that sounds really fucking familiar.
my graduation was really great because I was in the choir, so I got to sit underneath
Ugh.
the really nice booth things we were on the stage. We were at Red Rocks.
Right.
And it was raining most of the graduation.
Oh, wow.
So we were like in the only area
Oh, nice.
that was sheltered,
Covered.
and I'm standing out there staring at all my peers, and I'm looking at most of them like, I hate 80% of you. Enjoy this. Enjoy this moment. So I didn't really listen to any of the speeches.
Right.
I was really high because me and a couple of the choir kids, and we also snuck a bottle. Those robes cover so much.
They
It's
do.
So
They were
easy.
hot as hell. I didn't know.
They
It
were.
was raining, so it was nice that day
Yeah,
for
it was-
us.
it was
I was lucky.
It
I
was
didn't
a
have to-
beautiful day.
I was lucky. I didn't have to
To
buy
me,
my.
it was like my
robe.
enemies are getting rained
buy it,
upon.
yeah.
I am feeling good, and I never have to see these fuckers again. It was a beautiful day.
I don't
But
have to buy my robe.
The
'cause
4
I got
years
from
leading
Corey.
to it sucked.
Oh
Corey
yeah.
lent me his.
And
That's
not
nice,
in a good
that
way.
is nice.
Well,
Ask your sisters. We cooked on buses in those robes for a while before they started moving.
Oh my god, no, yeah, like when we were in those robes and it was pouring down rain, and luckily our it was an indoor graduation because it was the Belco Theater in the convention center in Denver, and
Fancy fucker.
I know it was fancy as shit. It was like FestCon. I was like, I always wanted to be on this stage, and I went, dude.
I thought Red Rocks rock.
And then I gave a speech on
I
that
guess,
stage.
yeah,
That was what was cool. But no, on our way there,
Nice job.
we were like in heavy traffic, and we couldn't roll down the windows because all the girls were worried about their hair, and we were worried about our robes. But we were all suffocating to death in the buses. It was horrible.
Happy.
It was like it was like carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. It was miserable. But otherwise, I had a pretty good graduation.
But coming back from the tangent, yeah, college is like I've had people
Coming
that-
way back from
Coming way back. Yeah,
I've
college.
seen when I was at UNC, they did not do good their first time around, and then they left and came back, not to UNC but to other institutions and did much better. So it's
Well, and going
It's all
back to
about-
what you were saying, what your motivation is, and I think a lot of people do what you were saying is they go to college because everyone else is going, and it's a social expectation. Once you finish high school, you should go to college, and where I agree that it's good for you to go that route eventually, it's not something that should be taken lightly because it is expensive. Student loans, you do have to pay those back. Even if you do get grants and scholarships, there's still plenty of money that you still have to give to someone. And so because of that, it's not a decision that should be...
And that's the other thing that I didn't want to go to college immediately for, because I didn't have like the grades to get the awesome scholarships. I had a 3.25, which was not horrible at all, but it wasn't great by any means either. And then I had a 30 on my ACT, which was pretty awesome, but it wasn't enough to like, oh my gosh, full ride, and then oh wait, my parents didn't give me didn't have like a fund or anything that they had saved up, because apparently there was one and they spent it. Yay! So yeah, college was like it was and kind of still is not really that much of an option, but I don't know where to go next. Because it seems like college was the place to go next. But then
I'd say look at some of like Metro and University of Denver. They've got public forums that you can go to where they have like public speakers and everything. Speeches. And I'm not drinking tonight. That's the funny thing. Speakers, and they've got a bunch of people who like. I went to one with Patch Adams.
Patches O'Houlihan.
Patch Adams.
Patch Adams is a Robin Williams movie.
And he's based on a real person.
Oh!
it's based
I
on a
didn't
true
know
story.
that!
Yes.
Based on a true story.
Cool!
Yes. And he is a real person, and he dresses like a clown. Like he was pretty funny. He got very serious at moments, but yeah, they've got a number of different things that you can just sit in on, so you're able to get kind of like that college mentality and environment without having to pay anything. So it gives you like a little bit, little taste of it before you get hooked.
That's where I'm at,
In
though.
my old person experience,
You're so
you've
old.
got plenty of time.
Okay.
As long as you start by like your early 20s, you're good. Because I was actually just discussing this earlier today, we're in a completely different world where you're not like an adult, notice the air quotations, listeners, until like
Look at them.
35.
Until when?
35. I still
You're
know
like
like
an adult until then?
Okay, I'd say 30.
30, 35. Like you're not like this generation's adult, making quotations with my claw hands. So we've still got time to, molt and cocoon and grow and
Sort things out.
butterfly and sort things out and
Pull
figure
your head
ourselves
out of
out
yours.
and
Those kinda
figure out
But
where
then,
we're going.
But then, and here's the kicker,
And
is
No more done.
where does ambition come in there? Because if you are an ambitious person like I am, 30 sounds like a really long ways away.
well, and it doesn't
It's-
have to be.
It's
And,
not.
I mean, and it, trust me, it goes by a lot quicker than you think.
God, remind me.
We are turning into old people.
Where's my
We're not
walker?
old. We're not old. We are under 30. We should not be saying that, but present company makes us feel a little bit more. It goes by quick. That is for certain. I know. I mean, feels like I was yesterday when I was just graduating high school. And
like only yesterday.
and it was much longer.
Back in
Our 10-year
1902.
reunion is coming up. And,
Don't remind
so
me.
you've got two aspects that are going against each other. You have time, but it'll go quickly if you don't pay enough attention to it.
And that, folks, is the paradox of life.
Exactly.
42.
Buck a bag.
But I think as interesting and stimulating as this conversation is, we should probably move on to another one.
Yes, I was just about to suggest. What's next on our list?
Apocalypse graffiti.
Okay, real quick. We were driving to work, and I look over, and
when he says we're...
Okay, you guys have such awesome stuff that just happens to you while you're in your car. Your car is like the mystery
You know what
machine.
it is, Edward.
Do you not have that happen?
No!
I had a day where
I
I
drive
picked up
from
a
point A to
hitchhiker
point
and
B
almost
and
ended up
nothing
in
cool
Greenwood.
happens. Except for fucking traffic lights, and I'll get to that later.
you should drive with us more often.
You
Okay,
should
sure.
drive a Prius. That's what it is.
I'm gay and Priuses are gay.
Yes. I, as the other gay member, I highly agree.
I'm gay.
Yeah, Priuses are pretty good. Especially the people who get powder.
Anyways,
What if you put
moving
super
on with
aggressive snow
your
tires on them?
adventure Prius.
That's
It's
like
the
having
Arcomobile.
a belly bottom wearing combat boots.
That's
We,
what
we were the Prius patrol for a summer.
Yeah. When we got
Which
into
is
a car
the
accident,
opposite of the Pussy
we
Patrol.
were in our uniforms. We got out and we were the Prius patrol. We scared the guy so fucking bad because he was he was high, but we got out in our full zoo uniform, and he's like, and his like asshole just puckered up immediately.
The thing
like,
he's
"Oh, I'm so
forgetting
fucked."
to
And then he
mention
looked
is
at you
we
and
got
said,
into a
"You're
car
not real
accident.
cops."
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was like,
That's where the Prius patrol came from because we both stepped out like.
oh
Well-
shit, like we're cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
Guys, let's be cops.
but so you know in those
Continuing.
post-apocalyptic games where there's just shit written on the wall, it's like, oh, dead inside. Like, we were driving down 6th Avenue and I looked over and it said Ebola is here with a skull and crossbones, and I was like, what the fuck?
It's like,
No one's
"Ah,
still-
you're
no
alive."
one's
They
not.
just wanted to cover their bases in case it did annihilate everyone.
Apparently.
It was really
What are you preparing for?
This is for the lone survivor that's walking down the desolate, empty streets. That
The one
once
guy
was
that
Metropolis.
didn't eat everyone's shit.
Will Smith?
Yes.
You just hear the doorbell ring. Oh shit, Ebola's here.
Oh, fuck.
So that does kind of segue into our other topic of Ebola again.
Oh yeah, that was your topic, Tony. Was
Make it
Antonio's
quick.
Arco.
Okay. So, in English today, we had in the class you had like entry essay and exit essay because the English department likes to see if their students can actually write English.
That's moderately important.
Yeah.
I
So we
don't
had the
use the
exit one
English.
today, and I wrote like a paragraph because the fucking the thing was, what's your opinion on the nurse that refused to get quarantined when she's like, I know that I'm not infected because I know how it works and I didn't eat anyone's goddamn fecal matter.
Well,
But
and to
anyway-
clarify, you can get it from blood as well.
Yeah,
saliva.
and saliva. But like in a first world country, it's not a fucking problem. But
Before we go into
Well-
Ebola rant or discussion, continue.
what me? But we discussed for a little bit afterward, and this one chick was just like, "Oh, she's a disgrace to the medical field. She should be shot like a
What?
dead pig." And she
You
like fucking went
stupid
off
ass
on it.
people in your speech
And
class.
it was an English class. Oh, don't even get me started on speech class, where they were
Not
just
going
like
to that one.
X-rays use gamma rays, and like you're fucking stupid. But anyway, and I look over to this chick, and I really seriously just look her dead in the eyes and go, "When's the last time someone shit in your mouth?" And the professor goes, "Ooh," and just fucking, she was eating it all up, and I was like, "Oh, that's fine."
Kind of eating it all up.
She's got a bowl.
And then another girl brought a cup over.
Oh.
Can I just say, my mother Googled or called me when I was in college. Was like, "Hey, you should Google 2 Girls, 1 Cup."
No.
Yes.
Was that
My
your
mother.
Mom.
Was that your introduction to it?
Yes, that was.
Ooh.
that-
You didn't know what it
I
was.
had no idea.
Oh fuck!
Well,
This was
obviously these twos are
2006.
lesbians.
You've seen it?
Yes.
I've seen it
About
too.
35 seconds of it before I said, "No."
Oh, I got
Oh, you
50
didn't watch
bucks
the whole
for
thing?
being the only guy to sit through the entire video
Yeah, I've sat through the whole
without
thing.
running out or throwing up or doing anything bad.
Wow.
I sat there the entire time and I'm drinking. And they made me this like chocolate milkshake to add to the effect.
Ew.
And they were chocolate White Russians. I know there's an actual term for it, but I don't know what it is.
Black Russian?
Probably.
I think that's a legit name.
No.
Stop laughing at me.
I think that is legit. That might legitimately be the name. So we were drinking alcohol as well,
Okay.
which would add to our gag reflexes eventually.
Okay.
And I'm
a joke
sitting
there.
there, and there are 3 straight guys with me, and none of them make it through any of it. And, like, I think the first guy was out in the first, like, 15 seconds. And then
Once
the
the
second
shit
guy,
came
like,
out.
45 seconds in was gone. And then the third guy, like, almost lasted through all of it, but then just lost his shit and just threw up all over the place and bolted.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there drinking my drink, and I'm like, I mean, they're using, like, chocolate sauce, right? Like, that's chocolate ice cream. And I knew it wasn't real. Like, they were probably legitimately shitting into it. But I kept telling myself that. And so for me, it was like, somehow they've CGI'd a ice cream dispenser in the shape of a butthole. And it's okay. Because they're just eating ice cream. And I'm okay with them eating ice cream. Two pretty girls eating ice cream, no problem. So that's how I just, like, psychologically worked my way through it without, like, ever having to break face on it. So if you're ever stuck in that situation, that's the route to go. That's the moral of the story, I guess.
Oh my god.
That's Brennan's extremely situational advice. Life advice.
It
I
can
think
be
I know where
used
the-
in other situations.
I think I know where the button for the dispenser is. Continuing on.
Continuing, so
Continuing
that's evil.
horrible-
That was-
horrible subject.
Sir,
you
where are we
just-
going after that?
That just morphed into the worst possible thing.
Great, we're rebounding in episode 1. Good job, guys.
We're lost episode.
The lost episode.
Okay, so we have either earliest tech or Rosetta mission, or we could talk about writing, since John kind of brought it up, but I thought we could segue into something about the four of us involved.
Let's talk about earliest tech, and then we'll go into that one.
So my whole thing was, I want to know what the earliest tech everyone remembers is, like the most archaic tech you remember using.
Like
Oh,
technology.
Yes.
That is what tech. I don't like when people use tech
I
as
apologize.
a word.
Or when they say
I don't know
PC
why I
computer.
don't, because I think it's a valid thing. Yet somehow
Yeah,
I
still
still don't
annoys
like
you.
it. The earliest tech. I
Earliest
remember-
technology you remember using.
Earliest technology I remember using. Everyone's looking at me, so I might as well just go.
Well, yours is the most recent.
Yeah. Well, I played on computers while I was all the way from when I was 2, and I just taught myself how to use it. And now my dad is and my whole family is super slow. But I had a Game Boy, the original brick
Yeah.
green one.
There you go.
Yeah,
Mine
it
the
was
solid
green.
red.
it was green.
Mine was the original gray.
Oh, my sister had a gray one, and then they
Before
got
it
me a
came in
green one.
color.
And then
Before
I
the world got
insisted,
color.
and then I
Okay.
insisted that for Christmas I get a Game Boy Color, and I wanted a yellow one, and I think I still have the yellow one. It was a great system, but yeah, let's see. So computers, Windows 95, Toy Story on the CD-ROM. Toy Story the game.
Oh, you had CD-ROMs?
I know, yeah.
Cute.
It took me a while to experience the cassette tape and the and anything before that. I mean, like VHS, of course, but and then we lost John.
John, no! I'll be
it's been
John.
destroyed.
Hello,
then-
I'm old. Burn.
So yeah, Toy Story went on the CD-ROM, and then my mom also, before I was born, my sisters were really little, she had a NES that she would play Super Mario Bros. And she had all the games and stuff. And she's the only person that I know that can beat the original Super Mario Bros. All the way through without using warp points and still get all of the little in-between things. She is amazing, okay? And one time I got it on the Virtual Console for Wii, and I was she's like, oh, you're playing Super Mario Bros. That's cool. And I was like, yeah, we don't have the NES anymore, so I might as well just get it on here. And so I'm playing it, and she's like, oh no, you're missing all of it. You missed something. No, fuck. She's like, just give me the controller. And she takes the controller, and she's getting all of the little secrets and stuff, and flying, speed running Super Mario Bros.
Wow. Fuck.
Fuck. Yeah, she's
What a badass.
She's a badass. So my answers are, because I don't remember in what order: Game Boy, the brick, Windows 95, and the NES.
Okay.
What's my answer? What about you? You guys?
I've got 3 things.
Okay.
I don't know in which order, because I'm getting old now and my memory.
Yeah, I don't remember.
One of them was my brother's first cell phone. I think it was like the size of a brick in the side of a house. And I swear he like probably was giving off some type of radiation that was killing smaller mammals. This thing looked like some type of wall attachment in a nuclear submarine. It was kind of terrifying. Mm-hmm. Second thing is, again, Game Boy. And the
Game Boy was fucking badass.
It was badass.
Loved
like, if you had a
Game
Game Boy, you had fucking class.
You were the shit.
You were the shit.
I had the tricked out Game Boy. I got the magnifying glass with the light system and the speakers.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, we forgot to talk about how horrible John is. Guys, let's talk about how horrible John is. Oh, hey, John!
It was an important phone call I need to make. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just say horrible things to your face. So.
We're just talking about how my mom can speed run Super Mario Bros.
Awesome.
Yes. She's awesome at Super... Okay, so yeah, and then Game Boy, and then...
the third thing was, like... when you would rewind VHSs all the way, like full force, you were badass. You took so many risks when you did that, and trying to stop it at the right point, or getting afraid that it might explode because it's making so much noise.
Yeah, I was always afraid of that. My grandma had like a separate VHS rewinder because we would watch VHSs so much that we had a separate thing where you'd plug it in and then shut. It was like super small, and it would just rewind all of your tapes for you. And you could do it with
that
the
way.
VHS.
You could start your next movie and have the other one rewinding,
right?
Because you had limited time to return.
Technology nowadays, that's fucking cool.
Nowadays,
it's
the
lost
90s.
technology. It's lost technology. No one has that anymore.
Okay.
We've sent that all to Africa. Like they've all gotten our VHSs now.
It's like
Our
a losing
earliest
team
tech.
merchandise.
Brennan and John.
John can go first since we're going in order.
I remember the first car.
The model.
You gotta wind that.
I remember when they invented the television, and we had one in every living
12
room.
channels on the TV.
Right? When you had to switch it with the knobs.
Yes, and it was like...
Wow.
And you got the porno channel, sort of, at night.
Defcon
Yes,
1.
and it was like...
If it was a clear night and you peered, I got there eventually. Peered through the static, you could see a side nipple.
Yeah.
We would wait up till 1 a.m.
You like that? That's my side boob.
I remember Pong.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
fun.
Pong. I don't think this was too archaic, but I remember when you could get, like in magazines, time on the internet on a CD.
Yeah.
When it was like, AOL, here's 3 hours.
AOL on a CD.
Yes.
Oh, and they would spam it out too. Mm-hmm. And like you could win it at like McDonald's and stuff. Like
Here's
you could win
3 free hours on the internet.
You can win internet at McDonald's? Wait.
This was pre-Wi-Fi. Everything was dial-up, so it took time from your phone.
It took forever.
Oh, and trying to make a phone call when somebody was on the internet. Oh, that was a pain in the ass. This was back when landlines. These were these mystic things we attached into our kitchens, and they had long, extendable cords that would reroute the entire house.
Yeah. No, I did a senior project.
Shut up, Tony.
I did a 1-act play, and it was the only science fiction one that had been done, and it was the only one that was a drama, and it involved 5 severed heads attached to a computer.
I like that one. That one was good.
Yeah, it was like sort of horror-esque too, because the lead was he was actually a German exchange student, and so we made him the German mad scientist. It was wonderful. And when the computer activated, I was trying to get I had like a sound effect, and it involved the dial-up sound. And every time I showed it to someone, they'd be like, "Oh, nostalgia of the sound."
I don't get nostalgia. Oh God, no! You
get PTSD. Wow, we said that at the same
Dial
time.
up PTSD. D.
He's like,
Post-traumatic
and you're like,
stress
no.
dial-up. I remember
The little
if you-
AOL guy's just running, waiting
Yes.
for it to connect, and you're just like, no.
You're not running fast enough.
I remember I would come down, start signing on, and then go upstairs and like make a sandwich, get a drink,
Mixed,
like,
yeah.
do things around the house, maybe do a few dishes that were left in the sink, then come back down and then eat my sandwich, and then I'd log on.
It wasn't, speaking of earliest tech, it wasn't my earliest tech, but I remember that when we had the dial-up internet, my mom was addicted to eBay. And she would just sit there and watch the thing that she bet on and hit F5. 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 And that was like a thing people did. Because eBay was huge.
Still do that.
People still fucking do that.
I have to be careful when I have money, because I like to surprise myself, and which it's been a few years since I've
How do you
done this.
surprise yourself with your own money?
Here's what you do.
Hide it in
You
your
go
pockets.
to a bunch of frat boy
Yeah.
parties, you get super trashed, you go home, you buy stuff on eBay, and then a few days later, without you knowing that you had purchased it whatsoever, something arrives at your door.
Neato.
Yeah, I've gotten a few things that way. And it goes, oh, I guess I thought I needed something special.
Yeah, I'm that way too, except the other day I just spent $75 on board games.
Which we're going to play.
Which we're gonna
Right,
play
we need to spend
afterwards.
money.
But
Dude,
yeah,
so-
they're fucking awesome board
Earliest
games.
tech, do you mean like what I personally like dabbled with, or...
To be fair,
Because the first thing I was introduced to was when I was about 4 and I was changing spark plugs on a Harley Fat Boy.
That's impressive. So you say fat boy, and all I can think about is nuclear devices.
this is going to be kind of
Nuclear.
embarrassing,
Nuclear.
but when I texted that topic to the group me, I wanted to say most archaic technology you remember. I couldn't spell archaic, so I went with earliest.
I have found I have to do that a few times where it's like, damn, it's not autocorrecting. I don't know how to do this word. I'm missing a vowel or something. There's not a Z. Oh, screw it. I'll use my thesaurus knowledge and use a different word. Or have to rewrite the entire sentence.
Change the entire sentence.
I can't spell that one word, but I will have to make this work somehow.
Yeah, I've had yeah.
I'd say my most fondest childhood tech. What my favorite game was that little fishing reel.
Oh God!
And then
Oh,
Duck
Jesus.
Hunter. Duck Hunter.
I
little
figured out how
dog.
Duck Hunt works.
You figured out you shoot the screen with a gun.
Yeah, but like
And then the
how
little dog comes out and it's eating.
Oh yeah, how it works.
how it works. I was like, it is. There's no way that like because there wasn't like any Wii motion sensors or whatever. It was just a little gun, and it was really light, and it was really cheap. And I was like, how the
Yes,
fuck did
we
they
grew
make
up playing with it.
Duck Hunt? And so I looked it up.
It was.
What happens is when you shoot the when you pull the trigger, it activates for 1 frame on the screen where every target is. It'll put white squares, and then there's a little light sensor that that the gun uses, and if it detects white on the screen, then it'll say you've hit something. Now, if there's 2 targets, then it'll spend 2 frames and put a white square here and a white square here. And then it'll activate those at different times, and if, depending on which one your gun detects, that target will die in Duck Hunt.
It was
I
one
like,
of
"That's
the
fucking
original
brilliant."
basic grid codings.
Yes!
That
Yeah.
actually have developed to
That
use
is quite
a
cool.
lot for topographical reasons.
And I've always wanted to know, like, how it works, especially because in the new Super Smash Bros., Duck Hunt is a playable character. I know.
Do you play as the dog or the?
You play as the dog,
I
the
hated
duck
that dog.
rides on the back of the dog, and the little crosshairs are activated by using your buttons.
Interesting.
So like B, your special, your B is tin can, and it is a little tin can, and if you shoot it, then if you hit B again, then the crosshair will shoot it. And if there's a target in the crosshair when you shoot the tin can, then the tin can explodes.
See, but it's further proof like that suggests that video games are not target marketed just to kids. Mm-hmm. You don't put nostalgic things like that in a video game that you're targeting to a kid who would have no idea.
Right.
Yeah.
And if there's a 12-year-old, they don't know what Duck Hunter is. But, us, we do, and we go, oh, old days.
Oh, old days.
Yeah.
Remember when graphics were real because they were semi-3-dimensional, even though they were completely pixelated?
Oh yeah.
Look at Laura Croft's boobs; they're cubes.
They're cute.
I remember I was reading this gaming magazine, and for an April Fool's joke, they made a naked Laura Croft. Like this, they're like, "This is a naked Tomb Raider game. It's so cool."
How is that an April Fool's? Just kidding, she's not naked, it's just a mind trick.
No, they.
Jedi mind tricks. Tomb Raider.
These aren't the naked bitches you're looking for.
These aren't.
They
the
made
naked
up
bitches I'm looking for.
screenshots with this naked character model,
Okay.
and they just put like little black boxes over her naughty bits. And
Oh, okay. So the prank was in our game. You can see her naked.
yeah,
When I was little and I played Sims on the PS2, I was obsessed with the cheat code that would unblur their stuff,
Naked bits.
but their naked bits. But I could never get it to work, and I was like, "Damn it! I want to know what like animatronic Sim penises look like."
They weren't anything special.
he says when he was young playing Sims 2. I played Sims 2 in college.
No, Sims 1. It was the
Okay.
first Sims, but it was on the PS2.
Okay,
And I did have a PS1 as well. The PS1 came out the year I was born.
I'm
you
done.
ever-
I'm done.
Have you ever had a
PS1 came out the year I was born.
Where's my drink?
Have you ever had a MySpace?
Yes.
We've
Okay.
talked about this.
Yeah,
We
Yes, on air, we've
definitely
talked
talked
about
about this. I had it when I was like 12.
No.
Yes, and it's up there somewhere. I looked at it recently, and it's terrifying.
I don't even want to try to get on mine.
My profile picture is because I also really liked South Park, and my profile picture is a little South Park character I made. And it has,
Oh, I remember when that was.
Yeah, the South
Oh,
Park
God.
generators.
Yeah.
I remember
Yes.
those.
Did we want to get to listener questions and topics?
Yeah. Do we want to do the other two topics first and then do those, or?
I think we're getting to a point where we should probably do the listener
Listener
stuff.
ones.
And
Yeah.
Okay.
those.
So our first listener question is from Quinn Johnson. Discuss the ending of Doctor Who and how this entire season has been one big filler episode.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
and
that we're
spoilers
trying.
for me too, because
Spoilers
I
for
haven't
Edward.
watched any of it except for the
He's-
first episode.
He said challenge accepted, but apparently it did not work.
We're gonna try not to spoil it, but we're gonna.
Also, Quinn Johnson's the one that wants to take our pictures.
oh, thank you, Quinn.
Thanks, Quinn.
I think trying not
we
to
still
spoil
need
it for
to do
Edward
that,
is
too.
still going to spoil it for Edward.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna try not to do spoilers, but if it happens, we're sorry and we've warned you, both of you.
Okay.
Both of
Microphone
you.
and
You point at the microphone.
Yes, I do. They're out there somewhere.
Okay, keep going. Go.
What is your opinion on season 8?
You guys go ahead and start.
Do you agree with Quinn?
That the whole season has been a big filler episode.
Filler for what? Like what?
Just like to have something.
Like,
there,
you know
is
how
what you-
Blink was basically a filler episode, but it was
Fuck you.
It was a
Blink
great
is
episode.
phenomenal.
It was a great episode. So was Midnight, but it had nothing to do with the plot that carried over the whole season.
There's been Doctor Who episodes like that where they have nothing to do with what's going
Yes,
on.
they have-
But they're,
they're
but they're amazing episodes.
Worst of which being the one with the Absorbaloff and the girl who plays Moaning Myrtle. We don't talk about that episode.
Yeah.
That's the worst. It's the worst episode.
Or the ending where they apparently have a sex life still.
And she's like, let's not talk about that. I'm like, yeah, let's not,
Please
because
don't.
I hate this episode. Go
Yeah.
away, Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah, that was special. I would say a lot of this season has been attempting to allow the Doctor to figure out who he's become, where he's moving forward from this, because he has had a lot of things happen to him that have changed him. I mean, he's lived longer in his last form than he had in any of his previous forms. That takes it, and then he regenerated, expecting to finally die. Being the last of your kind, that's got to take a toll on you. Along with that, getting ready to have a new companion. And I'm sure you've read this on the internet. Clara is going to be leaving Christmas.
That's what the rumors
really?
say. Yes.
Yes.
It's not been technically confirmed.
good.
It has,
I
and I
honestly don't
think
really
as a
like Clara.
companion, she's been pretty awesome. She's not necessarily my favorite companion, but I think she's got some great merits to her. And I definitely love when she
Yeah,
starts
she's definitely not
impersonating
Martha
the Doctor.
Bad.
Yeah.
Oh. Like she was great companion for good old Matt Smith, but for Capaldi it doesn't fit.
Well, and I think that's what a lot of this season has been as well, is exploring the companion-doctor relationship. Because the companion isn't just there for the Doctor to show the companion the wonders of the universe. The companion's there to show the Doctor where he needs to draw lines, where he needs to show restraint and mercy, and where he does need to delve into that darkness. And so I think a lot of this has been... It was kind of like when Capaldi was announced. He said the Doctor's going to be a lot darker. And I think that's what a lot of this season has been delving into, is where that darkness has come from regarding the Doctor's past, along with what has kind of caused it.
Are we still worried? And this is, I haven't watched it. Are we still worried about the Doctor's past? Is that still what they're kind of like addressing?
Not as much. They do little snippets, like is Blink the episode where the
Weeping Angels?
Bed? Oh no, okay.
That's listen.
Listen. I knew it was something along those lines.
Phenomenal episode.
It was a verb.
There's something.
Listen kind of delves into some of the Doctor's original fears, which remark the fears of all of the universe, which is like, that feeling when it's dark in your bedroom and you're hovering over your bed and you think something's going to grab your feet, or when you're going down the stairs or something.
Right.
Kind of delves into that and leaves you feeling a little creeped out at the end. But I think a lot of the aspect is the Doctor trying to find out. He's starting to accept that he's not necessarily a good guy, but he's not a bad guy either. And that's where it's kind of leading to, is he's starting to finally realize that he's more the middle ground, where a lot of the times he tries to claim that he is the good guy, he's the ultimate good, he's the good wizard from old stories, like all those things reaffirms that he's this entity of good and peace, where this is more like, no, that's not where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because even in the beginning of the season, he asked Clara, "Am I a good man?"
Right.
And I think a lot of this season is, yes, Clara's leaving, so we don't do too much with that. And it's even shown with Clara not being a central focus in a lot of the episodes. And it's a lot of, like, Moffat and the writers being like, we really like Capaldi. We're going to spend a season to get you to like him, too.
Right.
It's like an introductory season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's the Doctor also finding out what kind of person he is in this new form, because it's a different... He's never been beyond the standard amount of regenerations, because he has a new regeneration cycle. He doesn't know what type of person he is, like you said.
Well,
he's just getting used
here's
to
the thing, though. And Moffat has come out and said this. It's the fans who had decided the amount of regenerations. That was never a BBC America announcement or the part of the series. The clock strikes 12 thing, Moffat was playing on the fans' theories that the Doctor only regenerates 12 times. We don't know how many times he's regenerated before becoming the Doctor. And so there's a number of theories on regeneration cycles. So I thought I'd throw that in there. Sorry to interrupt. Continue.
No, you're fine. I don't remember where I was going. But no, it's the Doctor getting used to who he is now, and the fans getting used to who he is now. Which kind of makes for a quote-unquote filler season. But
So
I've
if you
liked it
would
a
say it's... So you... Even though it is a filler season, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad season by any means.
And I think a lot of the reason why they feel they have to do that is because the last 2, even 3 Doctors have been fairly attractive men. And where we're going into a guy who's more aged, I think he's fairly attractive.
I think he's still fairly attractive.
Yeah. But the fangirls
sleep
and the
with him.
fanboys who were in it because, Matt Smith and David Tennant are hotties. David Tennant is hottie.
I'd sleep with them.
They need a little bit more...
So would you. Don't laugh at me.
persuading to stick with it because they're no longer there for the face. And that's kind of why, they did the whole episode with Clara. Where,
In Flatline?
Was it Flatline?
Where he got really, really tiny. The TARDIS got really, really tiny.
No, not Flatline. It was one of the earlier... It was his first... The dinosaur episode.
Oh, Deep Breath.
Deep Breath. Where they're like, it's still the Doctor. And they have to tell Clara to, like, quit worrying about what he fucking looks like and worry about the character himself.
Yeah, I did see that. And I liked that.
And
I
I
liked
think
what they said there.
that was Moffat directly talking to all the fangirls and
I
fanboys who were
totally
like, he's
saw
too
that.
old. So, and I thought that was a brilliant way to flat out say to the fans, we're still writing about the same person who his first introduction as the Doctor, he's not a young guy. And many of his prior regenerations weren't exactly Hollywood studs. So yeah.
Yeah, and the entire season is being like, this is a different show than seasons 2 through 7. Because he's so dark, it's so different.
Right.
And
he's kept some of the humor.
he has.
Very well. I do like that he's played on a number of the regenerations rather than just playing on Matt Smith's regeneration. He's played on a number of the previous actors and dwelt with inspiration from their portrayals of the Doctor. And because Capaldi's a major fanboy himself. And so was David Tennant.
Yeah.
Tony, any new thoughts?
Not English.
It isn't an introductory season because it's showing, hey, look, he's a new Doctor. Each Doctor has their introductory stuff that they have to go through to introduce, hey, this is what he's going to be like. Yeah, poor Eccleston.
Yeah, that's another question I have is, do we expect Capaldi to last 3 seasons like Tennant and Smith did?
I hope so.
Yes.
Because I do like Capaldi.
The way the season went, yes.
I think that a majority of fans do want to continue to see him grow and develop. And no one can see you raising your hands.
The Arcos think. You can.
I think that the writers and directors and everyone would agree with that. Where it's one of those where there are still some hesitations and where the season probably could have had much more dynamic and more drama to it, but it was very much an introduction season. I think for the most part, people are still hopeful and wide-eyed and, waiting to see what happens next.
Capaldi is such a fresh take on the Doctor as well, too. I want him to stay around for a while. And just this whole season has been, like the story arc behind the season was rather dark. Especially with the finale. Both those episodes for what happened in Darkwater and then Death in Heaven.
I thought
it's literally
part
called
was
Death in Heaven.
With the salute. Oh
yeah.
Broke me.
The feels.
Broke me.
Oh, the feels. I was keeping strong until the salute, and I'm like, her daddy.
Expect a lot of feels when you watch the finale.
Cool.
But the finale for me was, oh my god, they can't have done what they just did. Because it just blew my expectations out of the water. This can't be happening. No, okay, it's the Doctor and Clara. They're gonna fix it. Excellent. Oh, they're not gonna fix it. Fuck. Okay.
Cool. Well,
Spoilers.
You guys did that with very little spoiler. That was
Good.
good. That was good.
Do we have time for one more?
Yeah,
And
we have
Missy
time
turns
for-
out to be... No, I'm just kidding.
Not gonna say that.
And actually, it's
Doctor-
Jack's left ass cheek.
So that was Quinn Johnson. Quinn, thank you for
Thanks, Quinn.
submitting your question.
Thank you.
Thanks, Quinlan.
Got a nice conversation out of that.
Should we
Keep
save...
the topics coming.
Should we save Alyssa's because it's
no.
kind of a big one, or
Let's
do we?
let's talk
keep it
about
going?
Alyssa's because
Yeah,
I
okay.
think we can wrap stuff up with Alyssa's.
So
my coworker Alyssa just asked, what do we think about this new phase for Marvel and I guess therefore DC with what they're doing with the new Thor movies, with the new Captain America? How do we feel about this huge announcement? Because we talked about it a little bit on the last episode, but just a tad. And
Can I just say,
are we tying DC in?
I think we should.
Okay.
I want to tie
None of those
DC
things
in
were
with-
DCs.
with this as well.
well, looking at Marvel Phase 3, can I just say, super excited for fucking Paul Rudd and Ant-Man. Super excited. And also, is it confirmed yet with Cumberbatch and Doctor Strange?
I believe that has been confirmed.
I think it has been confirmed.
I'm super excited for that one, too.
That's going to be awesome.
And Doctor Strange is a pretty interesting character, and he's one of the ones that likes to mash up with all sorts of heroes, because all the superheroes generally they deal with aliens and bad guys. Where this whole magical realm and the Nexus verse and the Void Zone, all these things are areas where they're not experts in, so they have to consult. Oh, is he the Sorcerer Supreme or is that DC? He's considered a high-level mystic. That's all that really matters. And Doctor Strange is... I really wanted Daniel Radcliffe to play, but I think Benedict Cumberbatch would be a better choice.
I think Benedict Cumberbatch overall is a better actor.
I agree.
I'll give him that.
And I feel like Daniel Radcliffe has potential to become a very good actor. His previous movies have definitely been stepping up more.
Absolutely.
And it's rough when you've done 7 movies for
8
movies for pretty much back to back in your entire life. So
Right.
it's hard
he's fighting to get the typecast.
Yeah.
Harry
And
Potter.
I think Emma Watson has definitely done that.
Rupert's kind of happy with his money.
Yeah, he literally,
He's like, I'm chill, man. I bought an ice cream truck.
I really like, kind of connecting to our last topic, I really liked that I followed a lot of the articles and topics and fan speculation for who the new Doctor was going to be, and they were like, Rupert Grint.
I know, I really wanted
to finally
Rupert
be Ginger, and I was like, strictly for that fact, I kind of want that to be true.
I actually really wanted Rupert Grint to be the Doctor.
It would
that would have been
crazy.
awesome.
But I like Capaldi.
But sticking with...
Where were they going with Thor 3 again? I don't remember.
Everyone stares at the comic nerd.
It's like, because... Did Bucky turn good?
Yeah, he will be.
Bucky is deprogramming himself. So, essentially, he's still going to be the anti-hero type character. Which, if we are building up to Civil War... and Age of Ultron is the
Big grin on John.
next stage in the Avengers, but later on, that's supposed to lead to Civil War, which is phenomenal. And basically, you're the main point, without ruining too many spoilers, in the original comic book form. They might do something different with the movies. Essentially, Iron Man is attempting to have all the heroes out themselves, and Captain America is saying, no, we should respect their privacy. And then because of this, governments take sides, and
Big war.
Big war breaks out, and Captain America leads the rebels to fight against Tony Stark, and it is phenomenal.
And isn't it that Captain America dies?
Yes. Captain America, I believe in the comics, dies after Civil War.
It depends which verse.
Okay.
Remember, multiverse theory is
yes, but since Bucky signed on for more movies than Cap has...
It's very well possible that what they're going to do... Because in the comic books, when Captain America got frozen over and disappeared, Bucky actually took over the role as Captain America. And then again in the future as well. That is probably where it is going to head to, where Steve Rogers is going to die and Bucky will take the mantle. My theory is that Bucky will be siding with Steve during the Civil War, and he will be kind of like his right-hand man.
Continue.
I meant because he's missing an arm.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
I thought you were thinking other things.
I am now.
Whoops.
With the hand
And
movements
because of
everything,
that, he'll kind of be promoted to that position. But what I really am excited to see that, and this will probably be not for like another 10 years, I want to see them start incorporating Young Avengers after Civil War. That's something that I really hope happens, but I know that not a whole lot of people know about the Young Avengers. Actually, none of them, except for Ant-Man's daughter, are actually related or connected to the Avengers.
I see them doing that after Phase 3, quote unquote, after Thanos shows up in the 2-part Avengers third one where he kills fucking everyone.
Yeah.
And
I just want to see him get the Infinity Gauntlet, and then
he
everyone
will.
just drops dead. And then
It's
Captain
called
America says something, and then something
Infinity
happens,
War?
and then everyone's okay.
And I think it's Infinity Wars.
it's Infinity something, so it's coming.
Because there's time, power... There's 5 stones. And they make up this gauntlet, and he's able to basically manipulate reality.
He gets the gauntlet, he wins.
I have a question. Are Guardians of the Galaxy going to be a part of Avengers at all?
They introduced Thanos, who is
yeah.
the wielder of the Guardian of the Gauntlet, and he is going to eventually tie the two together.
Well,
theoretically. And
Raccoon.
there's also the reference Tony Stark makes about his armor and deep space travel, which will also possibly correlate to the Guardians.
so yes, Guardians could possibly show up in future movies.
They're not
that aren't
thinking
standalone.
until the third Guardians movie is the rumors that I had been hearing. But eventually they want them to come back to our Earth.
The only thing that I'm worried about this next cycle is that it getting... And I know everyone's really excited about all of these different story twists, but it getting kind of dry. Because it's been a while since we've seen anything really, really original. And I think that in this day and age, when we have movies like Interstellar, which was brilliant,
So good. So good.
and we have
It's
all
so
of these
good. So good.
these storylines that and all of these brilliant writers that are coming into the business, that we're losing a lot of opportunity to get really original storylines, original when was the last time we saw an original movie superhero?
Birdman.
Birdman. Okay, Birdman.
5.
And that really
there's the
wasn't about
problem
a
with that.
superhero. That was about
I know.
a guy who played a superhero.
But you're making movies off of characters that have been written about for 75 years.
Exactly.
And so it's really hard to come up with new concepts and new ideas.
Yes,
and
but then
at the same time,
why
your
does-
most loyal fan base doesn't necessarily want that. Because the people who are... You go to the midnight showings. My dad and I went to a midnight showing of the first Captain America.
Huzzah.
We were surprised how many people near his and my age there were. There weren't a whole lot of kids in that theater.
But see, what I'm saying is that while it's... I see how Marvel wants to market and gain from characters that have been around for the last 75 years. Imagine what would happen if Marvel did something original and started completely brand new and started something new. And they kind of maybe did that with Guardians of the Galaxy slightly.
Well, I think they're trying to do that because they've got their Iron Man movies, their Captain America, their Thor, that everyone knows them. Not everyone knows about Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, Black Panther that's coming out, the Inhumans that are coming, the movie that's coming out. Not everyone knows about those specific characters, so they're trying to do that, and I think they're leaning towards that in the future.
Can we have a
Comic
death
books of
movie?
all those people.
I want to see a movie with death.
And yes,
Stop.
I agree with John. That's why they've broken it into phases, and that's why the Marvel Studios has said that okay, this is our lineup for Phase 3. What they're doing is getting you interested in going, hey, we know that we accidentally sold Spider-Man and the X-Men, and
Fantastic
those
Four.
movies have kind of been, and Fantastic Four, fucked up. But we got control over some of this now, and we're gonna work our way back to that. So we're gonna show you some really cool shit and how the storyline should be, especially X-Men. What the fuck?
I haven't seen it yet, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Oh no, not the recent one. The recent one was good.
Oh.
There's
I
one
want to
was
see the
great.
recent- I want to see
I'm
it.
I wanna see
hoping
it too.
that they say, "Hey, we've rebooted the timeline. Marvel, swoop in, buy the rights back, and do it correct this time."
Yeah.
I want them to do that because Wolverine Origins sucked.
Don't get
X-Men
me started.
3 sucked. X-Men First Class wasn't bad.
Except for Deadpool.
Yeah. But yes,
He was in
Origins.
Oh, that was Origins. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
but yes,
and they're doing a Deadpool movie.
yes, they are. But yes, I really feel like that they're working towards.
Okay.
Getting
But
to that point
it'll be like
where they can
2020.
be more original because it's difficult to hit these blockbuster numbers with an original idea. Where if you build people up to the brand and then introduce a original idea, it's much more easier to get that fan basis and that support that they need to finance it, even though that they make outrageous amounts of money.
Well, that was a great few topics.
Mr. Ken Lord, we will get to Torchwood on our next episode.
Thanks,
because we're
Alyssa,
running
for
out
the topic of
time.
Marvel.
Yes, thank you, Alyssa.
We do have
Thank
one
you.
more thing.
Before- yeah.
Kay Dempsey is the winner of the Nerd on the Word trivia for the question about the Colorado River, the multiple point questions. You have a couple of prizes coming your way, Miss Dempsey. We have a travel cap that the Nerd Word is going to decorate, a book of motivational quotes and whatnots, and some trail mix and protein bar.
Nerd Word Travel Pack. It
Yes.
should be awesome.
So
box
I will
of
get
nerd.
that to Katie Dempsey, and I will probably do a video with her receiving it. That way we can post that up on YouTube to show
Cool.
that when we throw out contests, we stick to our word.
All right, thanks guys
Some
for
might
listening.
say the nerd word.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Fare thee well.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.